Hello and welcome to, oh my God, a very giant, heavy, eat better, spend less, that's wise. These are all the books that I got at my public library's used book sale. Welcome to my channel. I am Mare. This is not my main channel. My main channel is Nightmare Bliss. It will be in the description box below with all my other channels. So go check those out if you want to. I do makeup and skincare and open clothes and do some random reviews and things on my main channel. If you like all that kind of stuff, it's I'm really doing more makeup and skincare over there now. That's why I started my booktube, my dog channel, my gardening channel, and all my other channels. I split them up because my main channel just had too much going on. I couldn't think straight. I'm so much happier now doing separate channels. I'm having so much fun. So please, if you like books and you like unique books and weird books and maybe spooky books, please consider subscribing. I am a crazy reading person, and I never really talked about it a lot on my main channel. Oh, Enid's back here, my little pup. She kind of blends in. So she's sleeping there. Everybody else is in the house. My other dogs are inside with my hubby. But I have always been obsessed with books, and the reason my channel is called Bev Book and Candle is I always have a beverage, a book, and a candle. It's like I can't read a book unless I have a beverage and a candle going. Honestly, it's a thing. It was such a natural thing to name my channel Bev Book and Candle, because I'm like, what am I going to get to drink? Which candle am I going to burn? And what book am I reading today? So those things all so go together with me, and I love that because they're like, these are a few of my favorite things. Anyway, our used book sale at our public library, I had on my calendar for like a month and a half. And it was last Saturday. It was on June 9th that it started. No, not the 9th. Last weekend. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But it was on Saturday morning, and it was members only from 9 to 12. You had to be a library member, have a library membership, not just have a library card. You had to be a paying member with their membership thing, which I am going to do. I didn't even know they had that. I just went and got my library card. Now that I know they have a membership, I'm going to do that as well the next time I go. So I had to go and get my car serviced, like an oil change and tires rotated and stuff. And I didn't really remember that the used book sale was still going on as of yesterday, June 9th. I don't know when this video is going up, but June 9th is the day I went and got these. And I also checked out 2 library books. You can look at the link at the end of this. And if you want to see the library books that I checked out from my library, I have until June 30th to read both of those books. So I'm going to be very busy. Reading Fool this month. It'll be nice outside though. So I'll be sitting outside. Probably not a candle lit in the daytime outside because it's going to be really hot. But if I need to cool off, I will be in here, and I will be sitting in here with a candle going and the air conditioning on and having a nice icy cool beverage. So I left the car dealership, and I don't know why it didn't occur to me that the book sale was still going on, but I had to go to the grocery store. Well, here's the dealership, here's the grocery store, right smack in between them. I mean, like halfway between them in a half a mile almost of each other. Mile to a half a mile is like, it's like a quarter mile, there's the library, and then another quarter to half mile, there's the grocery store. So I'm at the light right before the library, and I see the big yellow banners that say used book sale, whatever it was, 6th through the 9th or something. And I'm like, oh my God. And the parking lot is full. There's like still there's a lot of cars for a Tuesday at noon. Or no, it was about 1:30 when I went. Tuesday, 1:30 in the afternoon. Usually the parking lot's pretty empty. It was packed. It was really full. And people were there were cars just coming and going. I'm like, oh, I'm so going. I got to go. And I did a vlog on my main channel. That'll be linked below. I did a vlog of me actually going to the book sale. And I didn't really film in there because people were in there with their kids, and that's weird. You know, I don't want to, and there were a lot of elderly people and kids, and I'm like, I'm not going to walk around and film. I can't do that. It just feels like invasive. I wouldn't want people doing it to me. So if I don't want them doing it to me, I would do it to them. So First thing I did was I walked in because there were a couple of books that I was looking to check out. So I went and did that first, and I went up to the counter, and she held the 2 books that I was going to check out for me. And I said, is the book sale up the hallway over there? She goes, oh yeah, it's right there. You can't miss it. Just go straight this way. I walk over there and I'm like, it's huge. I mean, it's a huge room. I can't imagine what it was like the first day, but I heard the first day the lines were out the door and through the parking lot, and people were waiting like forever to get in. It was crazy. So I'm kind of glad that I went on the last day. Here's the other reason I'm glad I went on the last day. Every day they did, I believe every day they did something different. So I walk up to, there's a lady at a table, a volunteer, and she had all these bags inside of bags. And she hands me these bags. And she said, here's your bag, fill it up. It's only $10. She's like, as many books as you can fit in this bag is $10. And I'm like, oh. There were people there, and I guess you could buy multiple bags. Like, it wasn't just one bag. You could buy like 3 bags. You could do 3 bags. There were people there with boxes, like carrying boxes around with the bags in them. I'm like, holy crap, I'm not going to go that crazy. So I just thought I would go and see what they had. So I'm like, you know what? For $10 to fill a bag up and the money goes to the library, I'm going to do it. So I took my bag and I walked around for a while. I think I was there like about an hour. Now, it was ridiculously picked over. I was there in the last hours of the last day, but I also got maybe the best deal with the whole bag being only $10 for whatever I could fit in here. So let's go over what I bought. I know there's some people on my main channel where I talked about the blog. They really want to know what I got. So here we go. First book, I'm just going to pull them out in no particular order. Unruly Women of Ancient Times. This had me all over it. Wild Women from Way Back When. This is in Women's Studies and History. It's Uppity Women. Did I say that right? Uppity Women of Ancient Times. Presents 200 uproarious pirates, pyramid builders, poets, poisoners, panderers, power brokers, and princesses in a lively, informative, and highly entertaining chronicle of life as it really was, full of piquant details on sex, sports, madness, celebrities, gossip, and gore. Little gossy feeling, I don't know, maybe little horror in there. Uppity Women excavates a myriad of little-known facts about biblical babes, classical consorts, and Mesopotamian maids for the armchair archaeologist and all of us. Assyria's queen Semiramis wore pants in her kingdom as the inventor of trousers. Did anybody know that? Because I was today years old when I just learned that. Rhodopis, Sappho's sister-in-law and former slave, tricked her way to fame and freedom and erected a pyramid dedicated to love. This latest volume in the loquaciously literary Wild Women series is sure to inspire all women to take history into their own hands. So it just has like little, they're just, what I like about this, they're like 1 and 2 pages. They're really short. So it's kind of one of those like bathroom reads, maybe? I don't know. Uppity Women of Ancient Times. To the uppity women in this book who have waited so long for their applause and the frisky females in my family who inspired my search. This came out, I believe, in the 90s? Yeah, 1994 it looks like. So it's an older book. I don't know. So it's like Singer's sexual standards in a sassy slave or two, Babylon and Mesopotamia. And then the second one is Egypt and North Africa, Asia Minor and the Holy Land, Greece and the islands, Rome and Western provinces. So I don't know, pretty cool. Like, of course, Nefertiti's in here, Thais of Alexandria, the other Cleopatras, Jezebel's. There's Jezebel. So, you hear about Jezebel, but like, let's learn all about her. So these are really, all of these are like literally 2 pages. So it's like these 2 pages and then it's someone new. Bernice, 2 pages, someone new. Babata, 2 pages. And then we have the 4 Julias. Some of them are only 1 page and they're just kind of a long paragraph. So this is going to be a really quick read, but I will be able to kick ass in Jeopardy after reading this. I just think it sounds really cute and kind of fun. It's kind of light. It's kind of funny. Uppity Women of Ancient Times. And this is by Vicki Leon, Leon, Vicki. So that's my first book. These are in no particular order. I did not grab them in this order. This one, there's a whole story about this. This is huge. First of all, this is a lab. This is a lab. It is a long ass book. How many actual, oh my God. It's almost 600 pages. It's a little less than 600 because of all the notes. But yeah, the notes start on page 577. Joseph Campbell forged an approach to the study of myth and legend. Yes, that Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell, The Power of Myth, you know, the guy who always talked about myths. If you're Gen X and from the 90s, like Joseph Campbell was everywhere. You guys remember? It says a candid and comprehensive biography of mythologist, teacher, and storyteller Joseph Campbell, written with the authorization of his widow, Jane Erdman Campbell. And this book was originally $37. Then it was marked down to $27. And then it had $2 on it. And actually, I paid less than that because I got it in my book at $10 bag. So his teachings and literary works, including The Hero with 1,000 Faces, The Masks of God, and his immensely popular book of interviews with Bill Moyers, The Power of Myth, which I read back in the day, by the way, have shown that beneath the apparent themes of world mythology lie patterns that reveal the ways which we may encounter the great mysteries of existence, birth, growth, and the development of the soul, death. A Fire in the Mind is a sensitive and fascinating exploration of the extraordinary personal life from which Joseph Campbell spun the jeweled net of his writings and lectures. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but there are a whole bunch of pictures in here. And it is long. There's some 1932. It's an epic. It's an epic. Wow. The Larsons' passionate investigation stokes the fire in the mind of Joseph Campbell, whose life spans nearly a century of world literature, art, and human transformation, more than a timeless saga of genius or heroic journey. It's a great love story filled with transcendental wisdom and inspiration for all eternity. Wow. Yeah, so I actually saw this, okay, and I walked by it. I looked at it and I'm like, how can I pass this up? What threw me off was how big it is and the length of it. And I was like, I can't. I'm never going to be able to finish this thing. How can I why am I getting this? I'm never going to be able to read this whole thing. And then I kept walking around and I made like 2 loops around and I came back to, I'm like, I got to get it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. That's when I know that I need to get something. Like if I walked around, I looked at it like 3 times before I put it in the bag. I'm like, Joseph, you're coming home with me. So this is going to probably take me a year to read. It's going to take forever. Very thrilled to have found this. I found a couple of books that my husband is going to want to read as well. This is one of them. We are obsessed with ravens. If you haven't noticed, in my little guest room studio, there are ravens everywhere. There's a bookshelf that has 5 raven items over there. There's one over there. There's one up there. There's a big raven on this lampshade. That's a raven, lace raven thing on it. They're everywhere. I love ravens. We have crows and ravens. We have 2 ravens flying around in our woods, which is a whole other story. Anyway, this is The Raven Master, My Life with the Ravens at the Tower of London by Christopher Scaife, yeoman warder of Her Majesty's Royal Palace and the Fortress, the Tower of London. There's joy in The Raven Master as well as tragedy, obsession, and a rare tenderness, beguiling. And this was an Evening Standard Best Book of 2018. For centuries, the Tower of London has been home to a group of famous avian residents, the ravens. Every year, they're seen by millions of visitors. They become an integral part of the tower, as integral part as the ancient stones. But their role is even more important than that. Legend has it that if the ravens ever should leave, the tower will crumble into dust and great harm will befall the kingdom. One man is personally responsible for ensuring such a disaster never comes to pass, the Raven Master. The current occupant of the position is yeoman warder Christopher Scaife, who offers a fascinating, entertaining, and touching account of his extraordinary life among the birds. In The Raven Master, he memorably describes the raven's formidable intelligence, their idiosyncrasies and occasional wicked sense of humor. He delves into the folklore and superstitions that surround the birds and their unique home. The result is a compelling, inspiring, and irreverent story that will delight everyone from British history buffs to animal lovers. Well, I'm obsessed with ravens. I love them so much. So this is going to be really fun to read. It should be a pretty easy read. Oh, look, I turned right to the page that says The True Guardians of the Tower. So there are there's a little bit of, there's some pictures. There he is. So I don't know if you knew the Tower of London had a Raven Master. I know all about it because oh, look how beautiful. Oh my God. Oh, I want to go and see the ravens sometime. It's the only reason I really want to go to London is to go to the Tower of London and see the ravens. So I got that one. That was like a find for me because I have Loki the Raven. He's on Instagram. His caregiver, the guy who takes care of Loki, and he rescues ravens and different corvids. He wrote a book about it's called Raising Loki, I think, something like that. I got that so I can read the Raven Master and the Loki book kind of together. I think I'm going to maybe plan to work on reading those in the fall. I might want to do this one in like September before Halloween. This one I had to think about. I almost did not get it. It's called Blessing the Bridge, What Animals Teach Us About Death, Dying, and Beyond. Rita M. Reynolds, forward by Gary Kowalski. And it's under Pets, Death, and Dying, and Spirituality. And says, this book offers a profound entrance into the mystery of those two gleaming eyes before you, a must-read for all animal lovers, a healing book. This valuable book for those of us who feel a spiritual bond with the animals in our lives. However, this gentle, thoughtful volume is more than a spiritual guide. It's a practical guide to helping an animal pass with peace and dignity. It's like, I know, if you know me, if you're new, you won't know this. I'm a rescue person. I'm kind of a retired dog rescue person now. I have 4 dogs. In the past, I had a house full of dogs and they were all special needs. I took in seniors. I took in every rescue that was too difficult or people couldn't handle. I had epileptic Italian Greyhounds. Italian Greyhounds are kind of my specialty. Some of them were epileptic. Four of them were puppy mill rescues. So I have really, in the last 26 years, my life has revolved around dogs. So I have read a lot of books about dogs and grief. Like chapter 9 is communicating without words. I am very into this kind of thing. And I don't know. I wasn't sure if I wanted to get this. Chapter 2 is called Each Creature Brings a Gift. And then they talk about Sadie's Bridge, Power of Prayer, Communicating Without Words, Tools for Caregivers. I like that there's one called No Such Thing as Failure, Animals and Grieving, The Other Side of the Bridge. I think this is going to be really good. I just lost Eliza not even a year ago. So when I saw this, I picked it up and put it down like 4 times. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do it. I've lost Rusty in 2021, Trudy in 2022, 2023. Who did I lose in 23? It was Rusty, Trudy, the dude, Aurora, and Eliza. So since 2021, I've lost 5 dogs. I lost 2 of them in 2024, dude, and I lost my 2 Chinese Cresteds, which really sucked. So I have had 5 years straight of losing dogs. I was not sure I was ready to read this, but I want to have it because right now my dogs are doing well. Lydia's my oldest. She's 10 years old. She has Cushing's disease. I've been through so many pet losses that I could have written this book. And people have asked me actually to write a book about my rescue dogs and my life with rescue dogs and all the losses and the special needs dogs. Believe me, I'm working on it. I actually do want to do it. So the other reason I talked myself into getting this is like, this is research for me. I want to see what she has to say about all of this and her ideas. And I want to see where my experience fits in, or if I have different experiences or different views. I'm really curious about it. So got that. I don't know when I'm going to read it because it's a very sensitive subject. So I'm going to have to read it when I'm in the right mood. You're going to laugh, but this book, this is my 3rd copy of it. I am my career path took me to becoming a dog groomer and dog trainer. Hence my It's My Dogs and Vlogs channel, linked in the description box. I will be talking about this book over there. Jean Donaldson is one of my favorite dog behaviorists. She is an absolute genius. And Ian Dunbar also. This is called The Culture Clash, a revolutionary new way of understanding the relationships between humans and domestic dogs. I was thrilled to find a perfect, this is a mint condition. Oh, there's one page that has a dog ear. Whoop. There's a nuts and bolts of obedience training in here. I call this the Bible. Okay, as a dog trainer, this is my Bible. The Culture Clash is one of the best books in my life that I've ever read about dogs. If you love dogs and you want to know like how they think, how things work with them, she talks a lot about operant and classical conditioning. So it's like the bell, the Pavlov's dog thing. Yeah. I absolutely loved this. Likely reinforcers for dogs: food, access to other dogs, access to outdoors, and interesting smells on ground. Even though there's one called It's All Chew Toys to Them, Empathy 101. And that's the thing, like you tell your dog, what's wrong with you? You're chewing on my slipper. They don't know what a slipper is. Think about it. Does your dog know what a slipper is, what it does, and why you're wearing it? No. Do they speak English? No. I teach my dogs with hand signals. So, because I have a deaf dog. He's my second. Well, I've had many deaf dogs, but he's my second that was born deaf. So this book I love. I had a copy of it. I gave it away because I always did dog rescue. And if people were really into learning this stuff, I would give this book away. I gave it to one of my friends who adopted a foster, Italian Greyhound that I was fostering. So Jean Donaldson, The Culture Clash, 1996. When this came, I started rescuing dogs in like 2001, 2002. So this had been out a few years by then. But I have read and reread this book. Highly recommend. So I grabbed it, even though I have a copy of it, but I'm constantly giving one away. There are two books that I keep multiple copies of, by the way. The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho and The Culture Clash by Jean Donaldson. They're the only two books that I have multiples in my home of. I have 2 or 3 copies of The Alchemist. If people come over and they haven't read it, I give them one. If you haven't read it, go read it. That's all I'm going to say. And The Culture Clash, if I meet people through my dog grooming or whatever who really want to know about this stuff and they have a genuine like passion for it, like start here, read this book. Okay. It talks a lot about anthropomorphizing animals too, which we all do. Not going to go into that. You'll have to check it out. Okay. Let's do this one. This is another one that my husband was so excited about. This was a series and it was on Prime, I think. I think it was on Prime. There was Long Way Round and Long Way Down. And there was another one. I forgot which one it was. So this came out in copyright 2007. Ewan McGregor. Yes, that Ewan McGregor, the actor, and Charlie Borman, who is his best friend. So Long Way Round, it says the best-selling authors of Long Way Round. So Long Way Round was first. They took a motorcycle trip around the world. Yes, I know you're like, how did they do that? Well, go watch it. You can look up Long Way Round or Long Way Down. If you or anyone you know loves motorcycles, and even, look, I'm not a big motorcycle person. My husband is, and he loves, he doesn't do it anymore, but he loved, the bike trips. And he had a best friend who he would probably have been doing this stuff with if his friend was still here today, sadly. So it says, after their 18 countries, 5 shock absorbers, 2 bikers, 1 amazing adventure. This is under biography, autobiography, and it's an epic journey by motorcycle from Scotland to South Africa. So this is the entire, their entire trip, and there's a lot of pictures in here. There's a whole bunch of pictures of them. And it's cool to see, Ewan McGregor just being, Ewan McGregor and not being Ewan McGregor, the actor. What I thought was really interesting was in the show, his wife going, I can't believe you're doing this again. He had to leave his wife and his family, his kids and everything to go do this. So Funny and Smart evolves the thrill of evokes the thrill of the open, dusty, sand, gravelly, potholed road. After their fantastic trip around the world with the international bestseller Long Way Round, fellow actors and bike fanatics Ewan McGregor and Charlie Boorman couldn't shake the travel bug, so they set off on their 15,000-mile journey from the northernmost tip of Scotland to the southernmost tip of South Africa with 2 new BMWs loaded for the trip. They encountered some of the toughest terrain, some of the friendliest people in the world as they rode their bikes through the pyramid, right up to the pyramids of Egypt, visited Luke Skywalker's house in Tunisia, and met former childhood soldiers in Uganda. They had a close encounter with a family of gorillas in Rwanda, were nearly trampled by a herd of elephants in Botswana. Riding through spectacular scenery, often in extreme temperatures, Ewan and Charlie faced their hardest challenges yet. With the help of diary entries, maps, dozens of original photographs, and their trademark humor and honesty, they share the drama, the dangers, and the sheer exhilaration of riding together again through a continent filled with magic and wonder. The other thing about this is if you like best friend stories, watch Long Way Down, Long Way Round. Like I said, look it up online, but I believe it was on Prime. It might still be, it probably is somewhere on there. I want to rewatch it. I would love to rewatch it, but my husband and I are both going to read this. I told him I got this, and he is very excited to read it because this is just like, you know, you see what you see on the show, but this is a whole other side of it through their diary entries and their experiences and things they were thinking in the moments. When you watch just an hour and a half, 2 hour, whatever it is, or was it I can't remember if it was a series. It might have been a series. Anyway, but you're seeing like an edited version of it. And this is edited as well, but there are probably a lot more personal, deeper stories and tons of stories in here that they couldn't tell because they had to keep it moving, you know, on the show. So my husband and I are both excited to read this one as well. Okay, there's only 2 more. I know this is getting long, so let's finish up. Nature Tales. Almost didn't get this one, and I went, screw it. It's an anthology of 27 short stories. These are all the authors, and it's an older book. What year did this come out? Older, like, not old, 1992. Okay, that's old. 1992 this came out, and it's just a collection of short stories about nature. And they're all over the world. Migrations, something about a rabbit, buffalo country, Canyon, my first summer in the Sierra, passenger pigeon. And I love books of short stories like this because if you don't have a lot of time to read, you just want to read a short story, there you go. I'm looking forward to this because I'm a nature fanatic. And my last one is a cookbook. And I almost didn't get this until I flipped through it. I'm like, oh, it's by Food and Wine. And it was originally $3. And I'm like, throw it in the bag. It's in mint condition, but it's called Reinventing the Classics. And I like it because it's just roasted cauliflower with green olives and pine nuts. There's a lot of vegetarian things in here. Broccolini with crispy lemon crumbs. So that's all. Watermelon salad with feta. Ooh. Potato salad with hummus yogurt dressing. That sounds interesting. Okay, so I just got this because it says it's a collection of fantastic recipes from Food and Wine magazine, one of the best. You'll find classics you love with a tasty twist, perfected and tested in the Food and Wine Test Kitchen. So, yeah, it just has a bunch of recipes in it. So that's my last book. But they had a lot of cookbooks, and I'm like, no, I don't need to. I have too many cookbooks already. So that was everything I bought. Let me know if there is anything that you want me to review out of this. This is long because I bought a lot of books. So all of these were, let's see, can I carry them all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got 8 books for $10. I think that's a pretty good deal. So, yep, 8 books, $10. Oh, by the way, I gave them a 20 and they had a tip jar, and I said, keep the change and put it in the tip jar. So I gave them the $10 for my books, and I let them keep my other $10 in change. So be nice, support your local library. I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.